We don't want that.
You're one of those guys?
Do I have to go back up?
One of those
Is that the rule? Okay.
No, but
I get one mulligan.
This is like your first initiation. You get one pass, and then it's timeout because you've already 2 seconds in.
One pass, very
I've been
gracious.
giving him clues, Marina. I told him that this is the show to say whatever he wants to say.
Well, tread lightly.
Huh?
I don't think he wants me to come back.
I think
I don't want to get
it's
canceled
because
on the first time.
he doesn't want to be the one to get canceled. He's usually the one up there. So
He wants somebody else popping up there instead of him all of the time.
Autumn, I promise you it won't last all day because these two,
listen, I'm ready to come
these two
down.
are going to certainly give you a run for your money. Luke and Chad, as you know, unpredictable. You get bounced out, go to timeout. But here's the deal. Call us, 202-895-3200. This is the best part of the show. People calling us with their takes, their situations. We've got a few callers who let us know that they've got some situations that they want us to opine on and take. So, well, you're on the show, so you don't have to call, Luke. You can just tell me right here. All right, let's start things off. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah, it works.
He actually called.
It works. And when Chad's up there, he actually answers a line. So.
Absolutely.
Let's start things off with a big story here impacting us next summer. Some people in Virginia will be able to apply for their criminal records to be sealed, meaning that long past convictions will not show up on background checks. The Virginia Mercury reporting that this can help those who have been formerly incarcerated and rehabilitated get a fresh start when applying for jobs, loans, apartments. For felonies, people, they need to have no new convictions for 10 years to be eligible. So there's got to be a while after you've served and certainly keeping a clean record. People with misdemeanors, that's 7 years. The 2021 law's rollout has been slowed down to give circuit court clerks time to prepare. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to be looking for this, and some state representatives say it needs to be tweaked in the future. So not everybody's on board with all of this. But Chad, we'll start with you. What do you think? Second chances here.
Man, I tell you what, I mean, you bring me on this show and then I'm serious right off of the bat here. No joking right now. But in all seriousness, I absolutely love this. I think that one of the biggest things is that when we do wrongs, that oftentimes we don't have room within the legal system to be able to right those wrongs and give room for growth and development as a person. I think that this allows for that. And I think that the key thing is that 7 to 10 years in which you have shown that you have become a different person and you are worthy of having that record expunged.
And we should also specify, we're not talking about homicides are not part of this. Violent crime, we should say.
They rope off certain things that would disqualify in the future. And I completely agree with you because I think too often in our criminal justice system, we don't give people that second chance.
Yes.
And one of the key portions here is that it leads to recidivism.
Yes.
The only hang-up that I thought is that as a business owner, if somebody were convicted of embezzling maybe 12 or 13 years ago, I think it might be my right to know that. So I think there may be certain circumstances like they've already done that pull it out.
Maybe.
But we got to give folks a second chance a lot of times.
Certainly. And listen, if you've committed misdemeanors in Virginia, you can still go through the expungement process. That's not going to be something that they nix and just allow for this. So at least they are offering at least a broader, vaster amount of second chances here.
Right.
Yeah, well, I actually love this because, you know, in Prince George's County, they do expungement fairs already, so I'm happy that Virginia is catching up to this. And these type of things, they affect black and brown folks way more than other people, if you will. So I do think that those kids that maybe got caught up in their teens for grabbing a chapstick out of a CVS but now can't get a job, I do think that this is fair. So, yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that this will help open up some doors to some folks that haven't been able to move forward in life. So, yeah.
Okay.
I've never done TV when the person behind me is the one I'm listening to, and I'm acting like, yes, I'm listening to your conversation. That's very good.
The beauty of the cameras. All right, let's move on. We're staying in Northern Virginia, where a clash in Roslyn over the future of skywalks in the Arlington neighborhood. Arlington now reporting that to some, Roslyn's pedestrian skywalks are relics of the 60s and the 70s, but to others, they're a vital safety alternative in an urbanized environment. Many people expressing concern over the future of these above-ground connector crossing eastbound Langston Boulevard to North Moore Street. Some saying it takes up space without providing tangible benefits. One even put a camera on the bridge for 5 days, finding only 43 people used it on its busiest day. However, another woman said that above-grade crossings, they're necessary, sharing that she got hit by a truck at a nearby intersection, and that at-grade and above-grade crossing should not be pitted against one another. So, Luke, what do we think? Merit having these skywalks at busy intersections?
44 people if you count the one that put the camera up there up top. But so two things here. Number one, I'm interested interested in these studies to see if people actually use them. I've actually been hit by a car before, but it was on my motorcycle, and I got T-boned under.
Wait a minute, you got hit by a car? You were Paul Blart? Yeah,
I have really bad luck with two-wheeled vehicles, motorcycles,
You're a walking
segways.
miracle, Luke.
That's exactly right. So I understand that folks might have hesitancy trying to cross the street. They don't want to get hit by a car. I wonder what security precautions might be put in place at these on-ground intersections as opposed to the skywalks.
None. When have you seen any sort of mechanism other than maybe a school crossing? And even that in Virginia, they're talking about, you know, potential reduction because there's not enough people, etc. Listen, if it's already there, why are we tearing things down?
I agree. I agree.
Autumn?
Yeah, I don't think that this is necessary because, one, you got to think about stairs, and then with people that can't take stairs, then you have to install elevators. I just think that maybe instead of doing that, maybe we get some like adult cross guards. What about that? Yeah, I could see myself being like an adult crosswalker person.
I'm looking for a side gig.
So I lived in Arlington for 8 years, so I'm very familiar with this area. I'm very familiar with these above-ground crosswalks, and although they may not have been used a ton, or they're not being used a ton right now, I think that we need to reimagine it, because in places like Indianapolis, things like this are used often, and they're an excellent alternative for the people.
Well, they're going to build a giant one from HQ2 for Amazon to lead into to Reagan National. So, yeah, they've got things that are happening.
They're a great idea.
If it's up there already, I don't see the money to tear it down. Now, investing in it, I think maybe you do a wider study to see if it's valuable. For 43 people, maybe not invest the money. But if it's already there, why take it down?
It's so good when you agree with me. Just
I know, it's very rare, but every once in a while, we're on the same. Autumn, you got to work harder. These two are putting in some work today. Okay.
Oh, man, I'm trying.
You're doing good, Autumn.
All right, let's move on. Are you worried about the taxes where you go on vacation? Residents of Virginia Beach, this is you again, worried about a new raise in the meals tax affecting tourism. WTKR reporting that earlier this week, the city approved the new budget. It included a 0.5% increase of meal tax. Some tourists say that the meal tax would make her consider eating out less. Restaurant owners saying that it's a bad advertisement for the city. The city estimates that the increased tax will bring in $111 million for the city. So we know you're from that area.
757.
Okay, rep it. But how much would it change your plans?
0%. We're talking about how much tax starts going into place. This would change my plans 0%. I don't know anybody that says, what is going to be the sales tax on this restaurant that I want to go to? I'm going somewhere else. I'm not going there on vacation. I'm going somewhere else because of the sales tax. It's ridiculous, the people that say these things, bro. Where do we find these people?
But how many times do you hear people saying, I'm not going to Miami, it's too expensive?
Not because of the sales tax.
No, because it's a $20 cocktail, and if you start increasing the tax and then you start, you know, it becomes like a shishi place, I'm not going.
Okay.
I'm going to Ocean City, Maryland instead of Virginia Beach.
I just have to say, we have a listener voicemail coming up that is absolutely unhinged what had happened to them on this tax that was levied upon them. So I don't know. I don't think that I would check the sales tax like I would the weather percentage, but it also adds up if you're hitting 25% on the tip, if you're adding 7% onto that.
We were so
it might hurt the restaurants. I don't hit the.
Chad, you are not going to Nantucket because you know how expensive it is.
You're right. Well, I don't vacation anywhere.
Right,
I just stand by saying it adds up.
You may think that this is like something, we're not looking for the tax per se, but like you know when a destination is going to be expensive and you're like, maybe I go to a beach that's not so expensive. It's the same water, Autumn.
I got it.
Well, here's the thing, guys. It's going from 5.5 to 6%. Like that's barely nothing.
It's still half a percentage. Listen, girl, when those interest rates on the mortgages went from 4.5 to 5%, that was something, okay?
It's a hell of a something.
Half a percentage point
We
is...
got the sales tax, we have an inflation tax, we have the tip.
I'm just saying, these bachelorette parties, you better bring extra cash, okay? Let's move on. Won't you be my neighbor and my friend? D.C. consistently ranking one of the loneliest cities in America.
Good.
Mimi Montgomery from Axios recently writing a column that she wants to build more community within her neighborhood, sharing it can be difficult to build that sense of community in such a transient metro area, but she shared stories of neighbors who make time in their alleyways, in their front yards. So, Luke, are you close with your neighbors here in D.C.?
My neighbors are a little further spread apart because I'm out in Virginia, but when I lived in Eastern Market in D.C., we had like a posse of folks. We get, hey, we got a bag of chicken. Let's go over and grill it. Or we got like a thing of mashed potatoes, which is like the 80-cent pack from Walmart or whatever. Like we all
listen, it
chip
works.
in. It felt like Friends. It felt like an episode of Friends.
You had a posse and a bag of chicken. Were my cousins there?
But the 80-cent mashed potato bag was a little more because I bought it in Virginia Beach and it had that 7% sales tax.
Exactly, it was $1.
No, I love it. So I'm not the most friendly person in the world when I'm not working here at Fox 5, but me and my wife, we do look for a nice community. You know the kind where you know your neighbors, your kids grow up together, the schools, the shopping center is all there. That's the type of thing that I would be looking for. So anybody that can build that and help to provide that, that's a neighborhood that we would buy.
Are you friends with your neighbors?
Not at all. I told you, my neighbor keeps driving in my daggone lawn. I did, though. I want to give a shout out. Autumn, you can come down. I met my Indian neighbor. He's a wonderful guy. That's a wonderful family. Shout out to my neighbors across the street. He's trying to make outstanding.
Wait a second. Are these the same ones that are parking in your...
No, different neighbor. Different neighbor.
So they got the cameras pointed.
They got the camera, yeah.
So that they get the evidence there.
Oh, yeah. I actually had some neighbors in D.C. that would come up and take photos of our trash cans if they were out of line after the trash guys did it and send it to our landlords.
Oh, wow.
And they'd come up and take photos if our grass wasn't cut on time or we're working on the hill. We got stuff to do. I can't come home and cut the grass.
Luke, it's time to call your posse. Call your posse, Luke.
Have them bring the chicken.
Okay, so what do you think, Autumn?
I love my neighbors. My neighbor, like, we're so close that sometimes if I have to run out for a quick errand, she'll watch my kids for me.
I love that.
We'll go over, have a little cocktail. We have barbecues together. We give each other tips on, like, how to raise our plants. We're both plant moms. I love my neighbor. Hey, Victoria girl.
Hey, thank you for watching, Victoria. No, you got to be friends with your neighbors because you never know, like, when you have an emergency or vice versa. I think that community is what makes a neighborhood. Or else just move to the country and be out by yourself. Like Luke, he's like, no more pictures of my trash cans. I'm done.
My chickens
I'm leaving.
and my rooster. All of that.
See? Rooster and everything. Fox 5 Live in Simple. How close are you with your neighbors? Are you guys complete strangers? Are you borrowing a cup of sugar? Are you total besties? Okay, this is skewing more middle ground here. But it's still a little bit, y'all are still on that Chad Ricardo line. So please keep voting. I need this to skew a little. Chad, what is wrong with you? 202-895-3200. That's the number. Give us a call. You're always a part of this show. So to come, we're headed to the hot seat. Checking in with executive producer Jack. See what he's got today. How we've talked about, like, you know, how we like to dabble in whatever libation you will.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not a cocktail guy.
No, I am a bottom shelf vodka mixed with some tap water kind of guy myself. Drink a whole damn glass of it before I go to bed at night. It's lovely.
You drank water out the water hose, didn't you?
Yeah, I would do it today, Autumn Joy. Today.
Oh my God, Chad, we're best friends.
Okay, wait a second. So would you do the same at a restaurant?
From the tap?
No, the vodka.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, listen to this story because it's kind of crazy. When you go out to the restaurant, right, we all spend, especially with that tax added out of Virginia Beach, we're spending a lot on brunch, on drinks, you name it. But what about being charged for not drinking?
This is wild.
Ridiculous.
Take a listen to this call. One of our callers called us and said, what is going on? Listen to this.
Hello, my name is Marlo, and I'm calling from Maryland. My husband took me out on Mother's Day, and when we received the bill, there was an 80-cent fee for non-alcoholic fee. So because we didn't drink alcohol, they charged us a fee. Thank you. Bye.
Yep. I bet she learned her lesson. She gonna drink the next time she goes out to a restaurant, especially on a holiday. I think that she got exactly what it is that she deserved. Next time, she get at least 1 to 2 drinks.
Is there a higher
Miss Marlo,
spot from
do
the
not
balcony?
listen to this fool. You're staying in timeout. What are you talking about?
Can you go higher on the balcony?
You all, seriously, were upset about this half percentage meal tax saying, what are you talking about? I'm not going to, if somebody put an 80 cents, it could be 50 cents on my ticket for not drinking alcohol, I am never going back, ever. And I'm telling everybody around me that they charge me $50 for not drinking.
We dumped tea in the Boston Harbor for like a 3% tax on tea.
See?
So, I mean, 80 cents. I don't drink. So I would be paying an enormous amount of money every time I went to a restaurant just because I would also say, though, that the water hose. The DC water has more acidity sometimes than like some vodka does. So I'm not entirely sure.
You may want to try it.
Yeah, I might want to try it.
I mean, I almost feel like, I get it, it's their own restaurant. I wonder where it is. Like, to me, it's almost like a constitutional violation here. Like, how dare you tell me what I can and cannot drink and tax me for that?
Well, here's the thing. Maybe she was like sitting at the bar, taking up a seat. It's a busy holiday. And was just ordering like water and sodas, and somebody else was paying that could have been ordering drinks. Maybe she was just taking up that
She went out for Mother's Day.
Well, remember that story we did about the Starbucks and how they're getting ready to like stop letting people sit there for a long time? Yeah, so kind of
But
similar,
if you're
right?
patronizing the restaurant and then you get your receipt and I'm being taxed because I didn't order alcohol, I don't want your cheap booze.
At least put like an atmosphere charge on the tab instead of saying that you're getting taxed for not doing something.
It's getting out of hand. All these, it is getting absolutely out of hand. We're still, we're carrying on, milking. Listen, the pandemic was an awful time for small businesses. We get it. They suffered. I know they're still paying the price for that, but to continue to tax the people that will save you, that's all that's going to do is shut the doors and close it. And once people start getting word that, you know, you're getting taxed, even if it's 80 cents. I know it's negligible in the grand scheme of things, but give me a break.
It's the principle of the thing.
Absolutely. Chad, stay up in timeout. Let's check in with our executive producer, Jack. Hey, Jack.
Hey, how you guys doing? All right, so listen, we talk a lot about air travel on this show, right? Best ways to get around, new ways to get around. Well, there's now a new company that is planning on cranking out dozens and dozens and dozens of blimps. They're saying that this could be the new way to travel across the world. Take a look at this, okay?
The world?
The world. I'm telling you, you think about like Goodyear, you think about all of these big companies, you know, with the big brand on the sideline. They're saying these Zeppelin-looking machines are really going to be this new luxurious way of traveling, and they're going to be really start pumping a lot of these out. Now, as it mentions in this Washington Post article, the Hindenburg, right? That famous thing that like exploded, the big blimp, not so hot. Here's my take on the situation. I don't like it. I think it's too scary. I don't like that it doesn't really have wings, and you're relying on this big balloon to carry you.
This is a glorified hot air balloon. We see what happens when those go up sometimes, many times.
Are we just out of ideas at this point?
We are.
We're going back to the modes of travel. Like, they're going to be like, the new thing is riding camels. The new thing is going to be riding horses everywhere. It's like whatever was popular 120 years ago, we're just reverting back to at this point.
I love this, actually.
There we go.
Hear me out.
Well, I can't because he agrees with you.
Well, here's the thing. You could ride a Segway through here where they turn off take your fasten seatbelt light off. But just like think of all of the activities that you can do inside of this thing.
There are so many activities.
There's probably like stores that you can shop at.
That thing is not that big, Autumn.
It's as big as this table.
It's like 3 levels. Look how big that thing is. It's massive.
But do you see? Bring the photo back. We need to roll the photo back.
Look at
that little. You can't go inside the air.
Yeah, you're not going where the air is floating. That's making you go up in the sky.
Hear me out. Maybe they have like televisions like that have like window simulations that have like the outside simulated, and you can like change your view of what you're looking at in your seat. You guys aren't thinking big scale, okay? Let's think massive.
No,
I'm standing next to Sir Isaac Newton and has not yet to discover physics.
Sister Newton right here, baby.
And then I have some real questions here because it goes slower than a plane. Okay.
Yes,
it takes
all they
longer
use
than
it
a plane.
are for golf tournaments, and they hover over the golf course, and they provide aerials for the 4 days of this thing that just drags on and on. I mean, that's how slow it is. It's for a slow activity like golf.
You're going on vacation
That's
and
right,
chilling.
Autumn.
What are you in a rush to do? Get a massage on the blimp, okay? Go hang out and have a coffee on the blimp.
I really want to send you to timeout, but Chad is going to defend this.
Well, here's the deal. I'm just here to support Autumn on this take right here. If you ask me whether I would do it, the answer is hell no. But Autumn feels passionately about it, so I'm in support of my sister Autumn Joy right now. Come on, Autumn.
Solidarity, baby.
I can't get over like a goose running into that thing and popping a hole in it and just watching it go.
Right.
Okay.
Have you seen the issues with planes and ducks in the engines and all kinds of geese and things? No.
You can just plug up the hole. Just plug it up with some putty, some napkins.
All right, we'll leave you, Autumn, in charge of patching the thing. But in the meantime, let's get back to that FOX5 Insta poll here. We were talking about it right before, asking you to give us a little bit of scale, a judgment, okay, of how close are you with your neighbors. Okay. Occasionally waving is the audience average right now, but leaning toward complete strangers. I know we've talked about this before, but I think it's beneficial, mutually beneficial, when you know your neighbors. They're there looking out for you.
Yeah. I'll just say occasional waving in D.C. is like being best friends up in there. I'm from the South. We wave at folks that we don't even know. Up here in D.C., if you like do an occasional wave at somebody, you're asking for it. I don't know if that's something we want to necessarily do.
All right, straight ahead. Thank you, Jack. Meditating. I thought it said mediating, but no, we're not mediating anything. We're meditating on social media. Stop it. But we'll talk about the rules after the break. Oh, we love anything out of TikTok. Well, it's now adding a mandatory meditation feature for teens. It will be on by default for those who are under the age of 18 after 10 p.m. So instead of sending them to bed, they're going to ask them to meditate. If young users try and access the app after curfew, they will receive this guided meditation prompt instead of their regular feed. Parents can also adjust what time the meditation sleep hours begin. I can't give you a reference that dates back, but I feel like in 20, 30 years, we're going to check back with our Gen Zers, and they're going to be full-blown like meditators at 10 p.m. every night because TikTok, this once upon a time app, created. I don't know if it's that great, but
I love this actually because as we know, when it comes to social media and these young kids, it's having such a negative effect on them, right? They're addicted to their phones. I mean, it's even to the point where like their spines are starting to like conform to them looking down. So I like this. I like the fact that they'll probably be in bed at 10 o'clock, so they'll already be relaxed. And then this gives them an opportunity to just kind of breathe and just like reflect and just kind of let go of whatever tension that's already built up inside of them. So I think this is good.
Okay.
I really do.
I think it's going to go over like a lead balloon. I think it's going to go about as well, have as much success as these new balloons that are floating around and hauling people all over the sky. But that's just because I think, can't the teenager just say that they're over 18 whenever they're signing up for the app and lie about their age and come on and say, like, I'm not this? I think that they'll probably just find new ways to be deceptive about using it.
We're the cynics here, clearly. Luke and I.
Sorry. I agree with you, though. I think that
if it worked, I think it would be great. I just don't think it is, and I think the whole like teen user app situation is just a loophole to try and get around Congress, to try and stop being grilled about how detrimental social media is to our children. If your kid is in bed with the cell phone at 10 p.m., there is the problem. There's the problem, period.
Here's the deal here. Just very briefly, we talk about all of the negative things associated with TikTok, all the negative things that TikTok causes our teens to do. If just one child is affected in a positive way by this meditation and prompting as much, then it did its job.
Let them know, Chad. There we go.
We'll be right back.
Go higher.
I was with you, Chad.
Tonight, the Washington Mystics opening their season at home, and one steadfast on the court, their mascot, Pax the Panda. Producer Sophie, you love Pax, apparently.
I love the pandas. I'm a panda stan, apparently. But I think Pax is a great mascot because, again, I love the pandas. But in case, I want you to take a look at this. In case you haven't seen Pax, this is when they went to go visit our panda friends at the zoo. However, I do think there are better mascots out there. So one of my I love a good baseball mascot. Oh, one second.
Gritty, anything from Philly is not good.
This is Blooper from the Braves. He actually recently got involved in a gender reveal at a game, which I thought was super sweet, and he's just a funky little looking guy. And then, of course, one of my favorites is Gritty from the Philadelphia Flyers. He's just such an odd duck, and they fully leaned into it. I don't even know if he's a duck. He's not a duck. I don't even know what he is. But they fully leaned into it, and I love it. So I just want to get your take. What's the best mascot out there?
They did give the Philadelphia mascot the best name, Gritty, because that sums up the city right there. I'm just kidding. We love Philadelphia, but their fans are atrocious. Okay, no, let's talk about mascots. I personally think that here in DC we have good ones. We've got Screech, Slapshot, G-Wiz, Pax. I mean, I think Chad.
No, absolutely.
Oh, okay. I thought you were.
All about it.
He sounded like he was giving me two thumbs down here.
No.
There's a little hesitancy there.
Yeah.
Say it, man.
I was thinking about it. I was trying to think of what my favorite mascot was. That's all.
You're already in the box. Now's the time to spout.
Yeah.
This is my throne. Thank you very much. This is my time-out throne that I like to reside in.
Yeah. Well, shout out to the Mystics because I used to be their in-game announcer a couple of years ago. So they gave me my start with all of that. But I like the presidents. The presidents for the Nationals. Yes. Yeah, because when they do their race and they're all running against each other when they fall, when the head bounces. I just think that's funny. So for me, I like the presidents. Those are my favorite mascots.
I love the presidents. I like Gritty just because of what he can do with his outfit. He's got this like circular waist that he can like roll around a little bit, and I think that's really entertaining for a lot of the fans.
I love that they're throwing your stats up there, by the way.
Yeah, put my
Bernie
stats
from the
up here.
Miami Heat. Yeah, seriously, throw up the stats there.
Put the stats there.
Bernie from the Miami Heat does the same thing, and he's got like the protruding behind because it's very representative of its city. Well, I mean, I think that they work in clever things. So the names can be clever, the mascot itself, what they do, and how it's representative, and people really take a liking to those mascots.
Yeah.
So.
Can we, a sports team named the Protruding Behind?
Sure. I mean, that would be fantastic for.
Or is that
I'd be a part of that team.
I got it now, Marina.
Okay.
Here's what it is that I wanted to say. What I wanted to say is that there's a lot of individuals out there that hate on mascots, but that is because they don't truly understand all of the joy that mascots bring to individuals, especially kids at ball games.
Aww.
Go mascots.
You know
We
the
love
The
mascots.
FOX5 DC mascot, Chad Ricardo. Yes.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
It's a good thing.
I don't know. I don't know.
He'd be a great representative.
Get him one of those
Can you
hellos.
do the thing?
There you go,
Well.
Chad.
That's a whole different conversation, guys. That's a whole different conversation.
All right, let's move on to our favorite coach. Coach Bill Belichick. He continues to make headlines over his relationship with girlfriend Jordan. Take a look at this interview from this morning.
Has been made about your relationship with Jordan Hudson. It's been getting a lot of attention. She isn't here this morning, but what do you think about all the attention that your relationship has been getting?
Yeah, well, she's been terrific, through the whole process, and she's been very helpful to me. She does the business things that don't relate to North Carolina that come up in my life, so I can concentrate on football, and that's really what I want to do. I acknowledged her in the book. She was very helpful on that with the tribute pages, and also giving a perspective of the book from kind of a business side. Sometimes I get a little football technical, and so she did a good job of keeping me on balance there.
So what did Jordan mean to you?
Well, we have a good personal relationship, and I'm not talking about personal relationships, Michael. You know that.
Okay, I know that, Coach. But I'm saying, are you happy?
Yeah.
You look happy.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd see you doing yoga.
I love it.
It's so good to see him smile and speak freely. So there you go.
As a communicator, getting the free media and the earned media, I think might be a play here. He's selling more books for sure.
Okay.
So this whole controversy, I had not heard of this guy for a long time until this started popping up in the mainstream news, and I was like, oh, wait a second. And now I know he's got a memoir. He's selling more books. Maybe this is a grand strategy.
Yeah,
You think so?
absolutely.
It could be part of the big thing.
Yeah, and to your point, I really didn't pay attention either until that picture of them on the beach with him holding her up. Everybody was like, whoa, Bill, what the heck? And I actually like this for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she is helping him in a positive way, doesn't she seem like she's doing anything crazy to him? Why not? If he likes it, we love it, right?
Well, I mean, there's debate on what she's doing and how she's handling. But Chad, it was good to see him smile, laugh, and because we've always seen him almost like too, I don't know. Just tight.
And, listen, I 100% agree with that. And a little bit of context here. Michael Strahan, of course, the New York Giants Hall of Famer. Bill Belichick started his career as a Giant Hall of Famer. I think that one of the big things is that the North Carolina Tar Heels do not do well. This incident, this situation is going to be blamed for that. And that is something that we need to check back in with some 5-6 months from now.
What if they do well?
Yeah.
If they do well, then
More of
they'll
it.
just give him credit for being the GOAT. It won't be Jordan Hudson.
You don't think
if they
she's going to come
fail-
out and take credit for that?
We'll have a TMZ camera on the sidelines at all of the games.
This is interesting because he's been someone who has really not shown his personal side, and he has shunned the attention. And his press conference up in New England, sometimes they were awkward with the press.
It's gotta
Very
be
awkward.
tough too. Imagine having that sort of media attention on your relationship. At a certain point, it's none of your business.
I mean, listen, not in their defense, she's kind of brought a lot of it on.
100%.
I agree there.
All right, let's check that phone line one more time. Hotline 202-895-3200. That's where you can find us. Chad is in timeout, which means he is taking your call.
Let's do
Please
it!
call. Straight ahead, athletes weighing in on where they are drafted. We've got our takes after the break. DC's own Caleb Williams and his relationship with the city of Chicago making headlines because a new book shows he did not want to play in the Windy City. Caleb's father told ESPN's that Chicago was, quote, the place quarterbacks go to die. Ooh. Wow. That's harsh. Caleb also didn't think that he would mesh well with the Bears offensive coordinator. The Bears did end up firing that person as well as the head coach. Apparently tensions were so high, the Bears and the Williams family, that Williams considered signing with the UFL instead of the NFL. The Bears selecting Williams, the #1 draft pick. The team went on to have a 5-12 record last season. What do we think, Autumn? Do they get to pick? Should they go where the draft takes them?
Yeah, well, you know what? I empathize with him because it's like when you're in that position, you probably want to go somewhere where they're already somewhat winning. And so when you have to go somewhere where tensions are high, you really don't want to be, that's going to probably affect your mental health, right? But I don't think that they should be able to pick because then it becomes like one-sided. So those teams that aren't doing well, how will we get them to get players that potentially can help them? So yeah, I mean, I think that it could be a slippery rope that we could slide down if they do allow this. But if his mental health was being affected, then yeah, I absolutely agree with that.
Okay, mental health aside. What in the world?
Come on down.
Honestly, I was kind of jibber-jabbering because I didn't really know what to say.
Jaden Daniels showed up to a losing team. He was a second draft pick with all kinds of crazy things. If you want to talk about QBs that came into a team and failed time and time again, that was a
Good to see you. It's been a long time.
Here's the thing. I've actually had a personal relationship with not only Caleb Williams, but also with his father, Carl Williams, since Caleb Williams was in the 7th grade. They're an outstanding family. The UFL was always a myth. They make $65,000 a year. You're not going to turn down $10 million for $65,000. But we have seen families do this before. We've seen the Mannings do it. We had seen John Elway do it as well. As for a quarterback especially, got to be in the right place.
Yeah.
You're the #1 draft pick. You're going to the worst team in the NFL. It's how it's always worked. We'll be right back. How you feeling?
I'm crazy. Okay.
We got another sports story for you.
Yeah. Keep it going.
Let's check in with producer Sophie here. Rewind the take. Hey, Soph.
Hi. I knew when we had Chad on, we just had to have so many sports stories to just get all of his energy out with all of the sports stories.
You just want me to spar with Chad.
But right now we're talking about something we were talking about yesterday. Who is going to perform at the Christmas Day halftime at Northwest Stadium? Last year's Beyonce. How are you going to top that? Here's what people had to say.
John from D.C. The Commander's Cookie Show should be go-go. Represent D.C.
This is Leisha in Fredericksburg. It would be great to have a go-go band along with a rock band. I think Black Alley would do it.
My name is Diana. I'm from Romney, West Virginia. I'd like to see him have a go-go band at the Christmas party. I love that music, and we don't get much of it up here. So that's what I was calling about. Sorry I'm late on that one.
This is Susie Ford from Waldorf, Maryland. I would love to see Mariah on Christmas Day. Thank you.
Okay, Mariah, Christmas Day. She is a self-proclaimed, what is it, princess?
Queen of Christmas.
Sorry,
yes.
I didn't mean to downgrade her royal title. Okay, so what do you think, Autumn?
Yeah, I think I agree. We should get like Backyard Band. We should get like Subtle Thoughts, Black Alley. You know, do like a reunion. Get Wale. Oh my gosh, my girl that just I can't think of her name, but get a whole bunch of like DMV artists to come out and perform with maybe like a rock band. I think a rock band would be kind of cool.
Would you feel, as a Washingtonian, as a Washington Commanders fan, would you feel offended if they brought people up from Virginia, like a Missy Elliott or a Pharrell?
No, absolutely not.
No,
I mean, it's the DMV. We're a collective pot. As long as we include some go-go in there, I think everybody will be happy.
Yeah, it is a national audience. Last year, the Ravens played in Houston, hence, of course, Beyonce, a national act, but also from Houston, so it made a lot of sense. You start talking about a national audience on Netflix on Christmas Day. You want to go big, and I'm sure they will be. I do think that go-go should be front and center there.
Go-go has got to be at the center of this. I had an opportunity to go out and speak with the people, talk to the fans the other day, and almost to a man, everyone mentioned go-go. I do believe, to the point that you're making, that the headliner act should be Chris Brown. Bring Chris Brown in. He's a country boy from Tappahannock, right there in Virginia. Let him come and take center. I know he just got in a little more legal trouble. I do understand that. I do understand he may not be able to make it. But if he can be there, like Chris Brown, God dang it, Chris, why'd you get arrested again? Shucks. He just won a Grammy.
I don't think he's the
just won a Grammy.
Yeah.
rope in all of the neighbors and have some American Idol style situation where you're trying to bring in new talent, kind of like that first or second neighbor topic. Rope in as many people as possible. Find the next great artist from the DMV area that can jump in on top of it. No, I think it'd be good.
They have 15 minutes to make it.
I got a kazoo. I have a kazoo. I have like an accordion.
A Segway? You got a Segway?
No, I'm going to bring my...
Luke, you made it long enough. Get out of here. Get out of here. Find your Segway.
I would love to see you perform, Luke. I'm with you.
I'm doing it right now.
I think there's got to be, you know, the backdrop of Go-Go. I don't know who the main act is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Jay-Z's part of like the entertainment aspect of it.
It's tough getting up these steps.
We've been waiting to see somebody fall down them damn stairs.
What about like Timbaland and, you know, Pharrell? Like, they're all like legends from Virginia.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe
Missy,
I don't know.
Just say 757, Autumn. That's where we all from.
Well, I mean, the Super Bowl kind of did that, right, with the West Coast rappers, with the Compton representing and all that. So maybe.
Yeah.
So Chris Brown can't do it?
I am not his attorney, but you got to check in. You got to check in. All right. Well, there you go. We rewound the take with an interesting one. That is going to, I think a lot of people are going to be watching, and we'll find out pretty soon because this game's not that far away. It's this year.
Yeah.
Today's take, 4 British men causing some controversy with their audacious plan to scale Mount Everest in 7 days.
Yeah.
This is why it's audacious, because it takes a whole lot longer for most people. They're taking off today, but the big controversy surrounds their decision to use xenon gas during the climb preparation. It is believed to help boost red blood cell production. It helps speed up altitude when you get acclimated to it. And now climbing Everest usually takes weeks. They want to do it in 1. So Chad, we talk about cheating and in many manners here, but in the sports realm,
sure.
Yeah?
No, I was waiting for you to finish the question. The only cheating that I believe in is using a pre-workout before my workouts in the morning. I take as much pre-workout in the morning, take as much Monster when I come out here on the shows, because I do believe in performance enhancers, such as
it's not like it's not an Olympic medal, so it's not like it's a contest, but does it really, is this like the feat, is it downgraded because of this?
Not at all. Not at all. You still have to do the work. You still have to be dedicated to the training. It's not as though when you take something like this that all of a sudden you go and you skyrocket up that mountain. You still got to climb the mountain.
I know, but what about the people who have taken 3 weeks who have done it?
Yeah. Shame on them for taking that long when they could have just taken this and done it in a week.
They're not going to make it anyway. I just climbed Mount Everest and I can barely get up here. But I think that gas is the same thing they put in those blimps that we were just talking about a little bit ago. But stop climbing Mount Everest, people. There's too many once highly motivated individuals on the sides of Mount Everest, and I don't think that we need to climb Mount Everest anymore to prove anything.
And we're destroying the environment there too, and it's crazy how many people have lost their life in this because it's become a tourist attraction at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with it because we don't know if whatever they're putting inside of their body is going to mix with that altitude. I know that, like, once you get that high, certain things really do happen to your body, and so if we don't know what could potentially happen, they're taking a huge risk on their life. So I don't think they should do it.
Why are we killing people's dreams? These are people who want to go up there and take videos and put it on TikTok and put it on Instagram.
They're going to do it regardless of what you and I say. Trust me.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
But I still think that, like, someone who took the 2 weeks did it without the other enhancements.
Yeah.
It's like PEDs. Same thing.
Yeah.
We both ran half marathons.
I did not use xenon gas.
I did not use xenon gas, but I did use supplements to run it.
I didn't use supplements.
Okay,
imagine if someone next to you was on xenon gas, like running past you.
Good for you.
Running past
We're going to get you an extra gold star. Somebody bring Marina an extra gold star.
You're so...
He's just
you. Like, he's...
Where did you buy these supplements, by the way?
Get out of here. On an illegal website that nobody should know.
Get you an extra gold star for Marina.
All right, you've been calling in. Chad, unfortunately, I've given him too much time out of timeout, so he's not been taking your calls, but you've still been calling in. Here are what you said.
Hi, this is Ms. Karen calling from Washington, D.C. And my take is on charging a customer because they didn't order alcohol at your establishment. Absolutely not. I'm like Marina. I'll never go back there again. What if I'm taking medication and I can't have any alcohol that day? What if it's my religion? I can't drink that day, alcoholic beverages. No, I'm not going back. And you should also put a sign on your door we charge if you don't order alcohol here. That would be fair. If you want to make money off alcohol, then you should let people know in advance. Thank you. Love you guys. Have a great day.
Hi, this is Crystal from Greenbelt. I'm not strangers with my neighbors, but I'm not besties with them either. We're just cordial. They know who I am, and I know who they are. Have a blessed day. Bye.
Wow. Thank you for helping me out, because Chad does not want to agree with anything I have to say. So at least our callers understand rationalization and common sense.
Did we invent cover charges today? Just charge someone a few dollars to come into the restaurant instead of tacking an 80-cent charge for not drinking alcohol.
But then, like,
on
you're
there.
limiting again the people that are coming to the business. Like, it's just
I
bad
guess.
business. I don't know. It's not a club. Like, we're not, you know, if it is, then call it a club. Like, if I'm going to have brunch and I don't want to have drink, what if I'm taking antibiotics?
Yeah, she did bring up a good point about that. I didn't think about that. Your religion, if you're taking medication, all of those things. And then alert the customers. Like she said, put up a sign, letting people know so they can make a I'm
I'm calling the Supreme Court on this one.
Hey, I'm with you, girl. Lead the charge.
They won't do anything.
All right, let's take that FOX5 Live and Simple. How close are you with your neighbors? I liked our second call. I'm not besties with them. We just wave. Are you complete strangers? You borrowing sugar? You know, what are you doing? Okay, so you're at the borrowing sugar stage. That's not bad. I feel like it takes some guts to be like, hey, you got some sugar? No?
I would never borrow sugar from my neighbors.
Oh, my goodness.
No.
My neighbor baked me pies.
I wouldn't trust my neighbors, no.
Wow.
They'd give me the old sugar from the back of the pantry.
Well, you need to move then. That's what we're learning.
They wouldn't give me nice sugar.
My neighbor, she baked me apple pies.
Wow.
She has a key to my house in case I get locked out.
I love that.
Like, all of the things. You guys got to learn to trust and love people.
There are times in which I am in the front yard with my son trying to play, and the neighbors walking their dogs want to come and start talking to us. As if I want to talk to them. I'm trying to play with my son. What are you doing out there?
FOX5 mascot. I love your stats. Your stats are hilarious.
Chad, you are going to stay up there till 3:55. Okay, don't go anywhere. Take it back after this, and maybe Chad will come down out of timeout. Does anybody have the number of a therapist on speed dial? We got to get one for Chad Ricardo. Get him a gold star. Been a stressful day, clearly. Okay, he's going to go look for his next monster. What else are you doing today, Chad?
Headed down to the Mystics home opener. We talked about it more than just that mascot. We've got women's basketball, women's sports on the rise, and FOX5 will be there to cover it.
All right, send us a video back with packs for Sophie so she can, you know, be all about the pandas. Autumn is now an author.
Yes, Joy on the radio.
Woo, so cute. I love this. Tell us more about this book, how it came about.
Yeah, it came about during a time when I just kind of needed an outlet. I wanted to do some things, and so I've teamed up with Sledge House Media. They were an amazing group of folks that are helping me out with it. So yeah, there it is.
Joy on the radio. Pre-order it now. And Luke, I know you've been busy, so busy that you're going to stick around for the DMV zone, hang out with me, because we've got some questions about what's happening in D.C. and in politics these days. So we got the right guy.
Can I borrow your monster for this?
No, 100%. 100%. Yes,
all right, guys, we'll see you in a second. In the meantime, 202-895. Oh, Lord. Bye, Chad. I hope to see you in 2 months.